What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer. Following the reveal and playtest of Overwatch's latest new tank hero Hazard, the next big thing we have to look forward to with the game is the launch of Season 14. This is when we'll be seeing the new hero properly launch, it's when we'll be getting the new 6v6 playtests. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to here, so in today's video I'll be breaking down everything you need to know to get ready for Season 14, when it will be starting, what we can expect from it, and jumping right on in, let's start with the start date, which will be December 10th, 2024. This will be when the new Battle Pass launches, so if you haven't finished up the Season 13 Battle Pass just yet, and there are still some rewards you wanted to get from it, such as that Kitten of Discord title, be sure to have it finished by December 10th, because that's when you will no longer be able to get those rewards, and the new season will be starting. But speaking of the new content and whatnot, what can we expect for Season 14 itself? Well, first and foremost, of course, is the brand new hero Hazard, who we've already gotten to play test in his initial trial weekend, but now we will get him actually added to the game properly and fully for everyone to play in both quick play and competitive when the season goes live on December 10th. He's likely to be getting some degree of balance changes leading up to his actual proper release. I don't know how extensively Blizzard plans on tweaking and adjusting him, as he felt fairly decent for the most part during his gameplay trial. If anything, I personally found him to be a little strong, and in a lot of ways kind of felt like he was just a better version of Doomfist. So I'm curious to see if they end up toning that back a little bit, perhaps something in the area of his leap ability and the slice mechanic he gets, as I personally found that to be a very strong ability on his part. But we will just have to wait and see what exactly gets done with him. Either way, we can also expect to see his first cosmetics added when he officially launches. It's unknown at this point whether or not he'll actually be getting any skins in Season 14, as historically, with the past few heroes, we've seen them not get skins in their initial debut season, and in the case of Venture, not for several seasons afterward. And as for whether or not this trend will continue with Hazard, well, we don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. At a bare minimum, though, we can expect him to get a few highlight intros and emotes and victory poses. Even if it's not the full amount we historically saw back in Overwatch 1 with a new hero launch, there'll at least be a few, and he'll also get the base rare recolor cosmetics that basically just take his base color palette and swap it to something different. But beyond that, we'll just have to wait and see. But speaking of cosmetics, Season 14 will of course be introducing its own brand new Battle Pass, the theme of which we actually have no idea at the moment. Season 14 is a bit of an interesting one in that it's the first season in literally a year where we've had no indication whatsoever as for what the theme is going to be. As I'm sure many of you recall, back at BlizzCon 2023, Overwatch developers announced several themes that we'd be seeing over the course of 2024 when it came to battle passes and different cosmetics, and the last of those announced themes, being the Witches theme, was the season theme for Season 13, so whatever we get in Season 14 is completely unteased territory at this point. It's possible we see the theme somehow tied to Hazard and maybe his Freaks faction, but realistically we haven't really seen much of a correlation between new hero launches and the overall Battle Pass theme for that given season, so it could happen, but won't necessarily. I will note that we are very likely to be getting some holiday, Christmas, winter themed skins of some sort during Season 14, given that it will be overlapping with Christmas and New Year's and the holidays and whatnot, but I'm skeptical that this will be the de facto theme for the season. They have more or less done this with Halloween 2 years in a row now, but the winter holidays are a bit more varied in terms of how any given person actually celebrates them, so I'm not sure we'd see a designated Christmas Battle Pass, so to say, but rather I think there's just going to be a few holiday themed skins available in the shop and maybe a couple in the pass itself for this upcoming season, but probably won't be the overarching theme. Again, it could be, but seems less likely than them going with something else more specific, such as like a Junker theme or a Deep Sea theme or something along those sort of lines. Again, that's just me throwing out ideas. We have no idea whether that's the direction they're going to go. Some possible leads we do have to go on, though, does come from the survey concepts, of which At this point, we've had quite a few survey skin concepts revealed. There was, of course, just recently another set of survey skins shown off, which I already did a video covering and talking about, but there have been a ton of different skins and themes over surveys from the past couple years, and as of Season 13, we've finally started to see some of those survey skins make it into the game, specifically in the case of Black Cat Mercy, so perhaps the overarching theme for Season 14 will be one of these past concepts we've seen shown off in surveys. Again, speculation, we don't know for sure that that's going to be the direction Blizzard goes, but it does seem pretty likely that as time goes on, we're going to see more of these represented, and based on some of the themes shown off in these older concepts, any of them basically could potentially end up being an overarching theme for the season itself. Will it be something we've seen before? Will it be something completely brand new? We don't know, but either way, we do know that it will be featuring a brand new Mythic skin, as well as every season introduces a brand new Mythic skin. It's basically the cosmetic headliner of a given season. And again, we don't know who's going to be getting the Mythic skin this season, but hopefully the Mythic skin will be for a tank hero. We have not had a tank hero Mythic skin since Season 8. Yes, an entire year ago, where we got the Orisa Mythic skin, which wasn't a very popular one, let's just say. That was the last tank mythic we've gotten, so I, for one, am surely hoping that we get another tank mythic sometime soon, hopefully in Season 14. But at the same time, we've seen the past 3 seasons at this point introduce mythic skins for damage heroes, so who knows? Any sort of pattern or trend that Blizzard had at any point in the past has been broken, so it's basically whatever at this point in terms of who actually gets the mythic skin. Similarly, we can expect to see a mythic weapon added as well, which, again, no way of knowing who it's going to go to, other than that there's probably going to be a mythic weapon skin, because we've seen one added with each of the past 3 seasons, and given that so far we've had one mythic weapon for each of the 3 roles, being tank, support, and damage, this one could be any of the roles again. So unfortunately, there really isn't much more to go off of there on that front. One last thing I'd like to touch on though, before we move on from skins and cosmetics though, is that we do know Venture will at long last finally be getting their first proper skin this season. It's true they already had an epic skin back in the season they launched, but since then Venture has had nothing. But it has been confirmed by the devs that they will be getting a skin of some kind in Season 14. They haven't specified whether it's going to be a legendary skin, a collab skin, a mythic skin even, potentially. But we do know that they'll be getting something, which is good, because they have been sorely needing to get something. And speaking of collabs, I guess I should also mention that there will probably be another collab this season. Again, we don't know what it's going to be yet, but we have seen for basically a year at this point that Blizzard has been doing a collab every single season, whether it's an anime themed collab like My Hero Academia, Cowboy Bebop, or something a bit more random like Porsche, or the World of Warcraft collab, which was a sort of in-house collab with another Blizzard IP. Every season seems to have a collab of one kind or another. So chances are we're going to see a similar thing happen again in Season 14. Will it be another exciting one like Transformers, or will it be another one like Porsche? Well, that has yet to be seen. Certainly we can hope it'll be one that entices players, so let's just keep our fingers crossed. Anyways, moving on from cosmetics, as I said, Season 14 will be overlapping with the holidays, which means we can expect to see the return of the Winter Wonderland event in some form or another. At a bare minimum, I think we can expect to get the old Overwatch 1 Winter Wonderland game modes coming back around, modes like Yeti Hunt, Maze Snowball Offensive, those sorts of fun wintry themed modes, and there'll probably be some sort of challenges introduced as well that let you get simple cosmetics like name cards or player icons or something like that through just simply playing the event itself. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a good chance we'll be getting any free skins from these events, as Blizzard really hasn't been doing the free skins with events or challenges lately. They did that for a while back in early Overwatch 2, but lately have sort of stopped, more or less. So it'd be nice if we saw those sorts of things come back around, but I personally wouldn't bank on it. And additionally, beyond Winter Wonderland, we can also expect Season 14 to be the home of the 2025 Lunar New Year event, given that the Lunar New Year this coming year is going to be on January 29th. That should be set well before the end of Season 14, which means any sort of in-game events and cosmetics and celebrations for the holiday will be taking place in Season 14. Again, I would temper your expectations for this one. In Overwatch 2 especially, Blizzard has seemed to not give a ton of focus and emphasis on the Lunar New Year event. I think at most we can maybe expect to get a couple skins themed around the new year, and maybe a short sort of event runtime that'll bring back, again, some of these older Lunar New Year game modes, maybe some map redesigns to correspond with those. But by and large, I would not expect anything on the scale of Winter Wonderland for the Lunar New Year, or Halloween Terror as we saw in Season 13. But hopefully Blizzard will be giving us something, since, you know, it's a widely celebrated holiday for a lot of people, and historically has had some nice cosmetics tied to it. Beyond the typical themed events, though, in Season 14, there will be a different sort of event, or a couple different sorts of events in this next upcoming season, being the 6v6 playtests. Yes, this is something that people have been very excited for, and Blizzard has been talking about for a while at this point, and Season 14 will finally, at long last, see the first two of these 6v6 playtests getting implemented. The first of these will be a standard roll queue 2-2-2 6v6 playtest, where team compositions are just 2 tanks, 2 damage, 2 supports, basically what they were for the roll queue days of Overwatch 1. Apparently this will be starting very soon after the launch of Season 14, so we do have that to look forward to. I, for one, am really curious to see how this plays out. And the second 6v6 test will be operating on a min 1 max 3 system, which means for any given role, you have to have at least a minimum of 1 of that role and a maximum of 3. So at most, you could have 3 damage on a team and a minimum of 1 tank or support, with of course the exact role being flexible between those. This will be a rather interesting test to see play out because, you know, it's breaking away from that typical 2-2-2 role queue structure, which we've seen for so long at this point, and will offer a bit more flexibility in terms of how players can actually form teams. I'm willing to bet personally we're gonna more often than not see just 3 damage get insta-locked in this system, but who knows? Maybe we'll be surprised by the results, maybe we'll be surprised by how things play out. But either way, we have 2 separate 6v6 tests, both in Season 14, and depending on how these tests actually play out, Blizzard has said that they're planning to potentially bring back 6v6 as a permanent mode of sorts, not to replace 5v5, but to exist as something alongside it. So I'm curious to see how these tests end up playing out. And the last thing, which maybe we'll be seeing in Season 14, hopefully we'll be seeing it, is a 2025 roadmap. Yes, that is right. We have yet to get any sort of roadmap proper for the future of Overwatch beyond Season 14. As I mentioned earlier, back in 2023, we had BlizzCon 2023, which showed off a pretty detailed roadmap of all the content we'd be getting over the course of 2024. They outlined the new game mode Clash, the new heroes, Venture, Juno, and, well, now Hazard, that we've just recently had revealed. And with the reveal of Hazard, we've now basically seen all the content that was teased back in BlizzCon 2023, which means anything new we get past this point is going to be brand new territory. And while there wasn't a 2024 BlizzCon, we have seen other Blizzard IPs get these sorts of roadmaps. World of Warcraft had their own sort of developer video event where they showed off a ton of new content coming to that franchise, but so far we haven't seen anything similar to that happen for Overwatch, which is why I think Season 14 is the time that we're going to see something of this nature. As for whether or not it'll be as detailed as what they showed off for World of Warcraft is wholly unknown at this point. Maybe they get super nitty gritty, give us teasers for the next 3 heroes like they did last year for Overwatch, or maybe they just keep it simple. Maybe they're just like, hey, new heroes coming, new maps, we have a new mode in the works, and keep it super vague. Or maybe they don't do anything, for all we know. For all we know, they could just be like, nope, you get it when you get it. You'll be surprised, don't have any expectations, just play what you have now and we'll see what happens. If I had to bank on it, I would say that Blizzard's probably going to show off some form of roadmap before the end of 2024, or at least before the end of Season 14. But again, we're just gonna have to stay tuned for that, and hopefully they have some exciting stuff in store for us. But either way, I will be keeping you all up to date with future videos as that information gets announced, along with new information on Season 14, such as the Battle Pass theme, any skins we end up getting with it. So be sure to stay tuned to my channel. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, hopes, and expectations for Overwatch 2 Season 14 in the comments down below. Are there any specific skins or themes you really hope to see represented in this upcoming coming season. Maybe you have an idea for a cool collab or thoughts on what we're going to see in the future. Either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and as always, be sure to subscribe, hit up that bell icon, follow me on X, and join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch 2 news streams and other content. And special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible. If you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.